Yo, what's going on? It's Mike Flair, Thicker Game Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. We up to 200 and some subscribers. We trying to get to 1K. So please help us grow as we keep making the content. And we're making content based on our insight, on our trials and errors. And we're trying to tell people who wants to hear it. Life is a game of thinking game. You are where you are based on choices and decisions that you either made or are making right now. So, get well to my boy Jay. He's still recovering, and thank God for bringing him down this journey. But he's slowly recovering, and we're gonna get him back up to snuff. And he'll probably be joining us here a little later. Been cutting yards all day, so if he even feel like joining in or not, we'll see. But man, we are regular people, working people, and me myself, I have been taking these final exams for the MBA classes. So been trying to wrap up these classes. Got one more final left, and then probably a small break. Then probably be looking at a summer class, something like that. So definitely that time of the year, everybody trying to get their stuff in order and trying to get everything done for the summer here, because you know when it get hot, you kind of want to have everything straight where you can kind of chill out a little bit. So, but let us know some of the locations you'd like to see us film at in Little Rock. We probably finna start filming back outside when I get done with school. So let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for engaging with us. We would love to hear your comments on Facebook, YouTube, what you think about the podcast so far. What are some of the things you'd like to hear us talk about? And I'm going to get started with this one first. Pick one. Willie D or Chuck D? Willie D or Chuck D? Who you picking? Ghetto Boys, Willie D, or Public Enemy, Chuck D? It's a very hard one because they actually kind of similar personalities. Depending on which one you rather choose. I like Willie D. I do. I like the Ghetto Boys. But I also like Public Enemy, Chuck D, man. Chuck D was cause he rapped, but it's almost like he was talking. Like it was a different style the way that he rapped. It wasn't like everybody else. And the production that he had, the beats was banging. And he made an impact on a lot of songs he came out with. I mean, their first album, Night of Living Bassheads and stuff like that. The one he was in jail. I got a letter from the government the other day. Man, and Fight the Power. I mean, Willie D was good too. Don't get it wrong, but it just depends on like. And I'm from the South. I'm from Arkansas, and Willie D is a staple down here, no, without question. But music wise, I think Chuck D will probably edge him out because Chuck D, man, he had the production. Whoever made his beats, man, made some cold beats like that. Fight the Power beat, cold. Night of Living Bassheads, cold. Um, the one where he didn't want to go to the military. I can't even remember the name of that song, but that one was cold. That beat was cold. He had a nice production team. So, but let me know in the comments who you rolling with, Willie D or Chuck D. So, hot topic right here. Whoo. Rodney Hinton. Some people say he crashed out. Some people say he's emotionally unstable. He crashed out and killed an officer after seeing his son's death in a police incident. Said he went to the station, saw his son, get unalived by a police officer. Said he was running allegedly. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but allegedly the teenager was running and was shot in the back, and the police assumed that he had a gun. He went in and saw it, messed him up because he probably knew how the system works, right? And they said they tried to keep him down. I guess he got out or got hold to a car, drove back, and allegedly he drove and he killed a police officer, like ran into him or something. He unalived the police officer for his son being killed, and it wasn't the police officer that killed his son. So, however, let's get the main stuff out the way first. Was the officer wrong for shooting a teenager? Was he wrong for shooting a teenager? Teenager didn't confront him with a gun. He didn't point a gun at him. Allegedly, he was running, shot him in the back. Teenager succumbed from the injuries. And the answer is yes. He was probably wrong for shooting him in the back. Had no reason. To shoot somebody in the back, there is no threat to you, right? And you got to say that even though the police was wrong, we're not saying he was right in any way. Emotional intelligence is always the way to go. Emotional intelligence, all the way around the board. So, how decisions and choices can put you in situations. We have to talk about this. Nobody's judging anybody. I'm just telling you how life works and how decisions can put different people in different situations. So, this is not the first time this has happened, and it's probably not going to be the last time that it happens. Bunch of choices, bunch of decisions, right? Somehow they end up in the car that wasn't there, stolen, right? They get jammed up by the police. People say they didn't surrender, they tried to run. However, it's still a choice. Whether you want to, however you want to cut that, it's still a choice, and it puts you in a situation where you can't determine the outcome. Most people think when they make the choice, they're just going to get away when they run, but there are probably three or four different outcomes that could happen. And those kids made a choice, and a police officer made a choice. And two bad choices don't make good situations. It don't have good outcomes. It just don't. No, I'm not. Once again, I'm not saying the officer was right, and I'm not saying the kid was right. What I'm saying is how choices and decisions can put you in some tough situations. That's what I'm saying. Can you think about something before you do it, not after? If you can wire your brain to think about something before you do it, I think that's how you can avoid a lot of tough situations, from my experience. Me playing around, doing crazy stuff. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, and I can tell you, it just didn't happen just like that. It was a series of choices and decisions that got me to that point, till something crazy happened. You're like, whoa, how did I get here? Oh, okay, choice one, choice two, choice three, choice four. Now I'm here. Now, the father, right? We're going to talk about this too. Is there a cost whether you are right or wrong? Everything has a cost associated with it. Kind of like when you go to the store, you look at a piece of clothing or look at some shoes. There is a price tag. You want these shoes, it's gonna cost you X. You want this shirt, it's gonna cost you X. Another thing, you wanna cash out. Hey, hear me, bro? Oh, am I tripping? Hold on.
Yo, my bad. I had to cut off the music. Yo,
You hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong with these headphones. All right. So I was talking about this Robert Hinton situation, man. Unfortunate situation. And I said the officer was wrong for sure, right? The officer was wrong. Um, and I also talked about before you came on how choices and decisions can put
Mm-hmm.
you in situations that nobody wants to be in, tough situations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Riding around in a stolen car,
Mm-hmm.
bad choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody that's been living for an amount of time know that if you run from the police, it just ain't a good thing. You can't just think if I run, I'm gonna get away. I'm gonna get away scot free because it don't happen like that every time.
Right.
There's too much data out there now to think that there's not a chance that they can shoot at you if you run away from them. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much data out there to even not think that. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people do stuff in a split second. They don't think about what they're really doing. You know what I'm saying? As I say, two bad decisions won't make a good outcome. You know what I'm saying? It just won't. And
Yeah, that's big facts.
the officer's wrong, but what I'm saying is don't put yourself in a situation to where somebody could do something wrong to you though. That's the thing, you
And,
gotta think
and
about.
yeah, make it
You know what I'm saying?
justified. But yeah, I ain't seen the video. I ain't seen the
I
video.
don't want to see the video. I can only imagine. We've seen it too many times. Like I
Yeah.
say, you grew up in the inner city, you see this stuff, you hear about it more, and it's videos, so many videos out there. It's out there. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, like, decision wise, you have to make good decisions and choices. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that young man did say, you know what? I'm gonna make a choice to hop out this stolen car and run. And I'm gonna lose my life today. He probably didn't even think about that. But it's just that serious though. It could happen just like that though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And we got a lot of dudes we know that made one bad choice and it cost them their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Just like that. You know?
that's why to this day I still believe like that spiritual warfare is real.
Oh,
Like
100%.
yeah.
But see, a lot of dudes don't even want they don't want to learn about the spiritual warfare. They don't want that spiritual foundation though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you gotta want that. If you don't want it, you're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that because I used to be like that. I didn't want it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had to get broke down. God had to really humble me and break me down. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the game go. You wanna go out there and because even though me and you probably have been to church, I'm pretty sure we know dudes that's never been to a church, even though it's churches on every corner, right?
Yeah.
But it's
I don't
dudes that never been to church. You know what I'm saying?
here in America.
I'm talking about in Little Rock. It's probably
Nah,
some dudes that never been to church.
they've been to church.
Man, I think it's some dudes that ain't never been to church, bro.
They've been to
And they
church.
probably stay in the neighborhood with a church right by their house and probably still never went, bro, because they just choose not to go. Maybe their
Nah,
family didn't go.
you've been to
I mean,
church. You just
we talk about a lot of kids that they don't even have the parents. Like their parents are on drugs. So if your parents are, they probably not going to church. So if they're not going to church, you're not going to church as a kid.
you went to church. I don't care. You can't
No,
find.
I think I know some kids for a fact. I got some of them. They probably just never went unless, like I said, you go with a relative or something. But it's some kids that they in a messed way. They never went to church, bro.
They went to church. They just don't remember it. But you always been to
Yeah.
church. You know, that's the
Well, I'm
difference.
talking about as far as at the age when you understand, like being a
Yeah, yeah.
teenager and
Now
stuff
that
like
might be a
that.
little different. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when it really start counting. When you go as a teenager, you can understand what you're hearing, and you can really soak it in and learn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got on here. Is there a cost to whether you're right or wrong? That's when you came in,
Yeah.
and I said it's like going into the store. You get a shoe, it costs X. You get a shirt, it costs Y. Now, when he went into the police station, I'm not saying if the dad's right or wrong. If you say that the dad was right for what he did, guess what? It's still a price tag that comes with him being right,
Mhm.
and he gonna get it. It's gonna come in court. That's what they're gonna give him, the price tag. And I hope he feel like it was worth it because they feel to probably put this dude under the jail. Um, are they right or wrong? I don't know. They're gonna have to pay the price tag for that. That's something they have to deal with in their conscience. But man, because the cop who did, he killed. Then that didn't want the cop to kill the son. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about
He ran into him with the car, something like that.
yeah, you talking about the father.
Yeah, the father. Yeah, for sure,
Ah,
the
yeah,
father.
yeah. Like he ain't worried about that. He ain't worried about that. It
But do
just
you
it's
think once he come down off of it and he's in the cell
it's
for about he been in there for about 10 years, you realize like, man, you know what I'm saying? You think that that's gonna cross his mind, like, man,
yeah. He gonna say like, dang, I did it to the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
Because
yeah,
like I said, you can say he right. The people can say, I feel what he did. That was his
yeah,
son. You can say it right, but guess what? There's still a price tag at the end of that of what he
yeah,
did. It's a
yeah.
price
That
tag. He
that's
gonna have to pay it. You know
that's
what I'm
what
saying?
that's what made it so bad is when you do it to somebody that didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, not I'm not saying it's okay to kill people.
Right,
Uh,
for sure. Nobody's saying. I started out with that. The cop was totally wrong. Right,
but
right,
when a person's not in their right mind, he probably just saw red and that was it. Like
right. And just
and
how
I'm
life works, there's going to be a price tag. I mean, it's a price tag with it that come with it. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I
And
don't agree. I don't agree with just killing a cop that's doing his job.
yeah.
Now, if it
I
was
mean, I
if
can't
it
even. The thing that really bothers me was, and I wonder did he think about this is, um, what influenced your son to be reckless out there, stealing cars or whatever they was doing. I don't know. They caused him to get in that situation. You know
it's
what I'm saying?
it's the thrill of it. Um,
And because if you was in his life, I don't know, man. Like,
man, them kids
my,
kids gonna do whatever, man.
they
That's
gonna
what
do what they gonna do, but that
you
ain't kid stuff they doing though. That ain't kid
man.
stuff they doing, bro. Stealing cars and
It
stuff, that ain't kid
is
stuff.
it's kid like for your understanding, it's not.
Man, I grew
But
up in the
it
hood like you did. That's not kid
but
stuff, man.
it's
That's
still kid.
dangerous. There's a
It,
risk
it's still
associated with
kid
that.
stuff. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's still kid stuff at the end of the day. Like yeah, they probably shouldn't have been riding around in the stoli. You know what I'm saying? But it's still kid stuff. Like everybody don't grow up ahead of their time. Some are just living in the moment.
I didn't grow up ahead of my time. I think I just had to learn from other people, watching other people. Because, like I say, not having that father figure, you just learn how to learn from other people's successes and failures. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if his dad was in his life, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because it's like
So his dad wasn't in his life?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
don't know what happened. That's
that's
what I'm
what I
saying.
said.
Where did the disconnect come from that he would do?
Like,
Put himself in that situation. That's all I'm saying. Like, where's the disconnect that he put his son put
like,
himself in that situation?
and that's why I always tell people, like you can put these kids in the best position ever, and they still gonna still gonna make a choice, right or wrong. It might be peer pressure. It might just been like, you know what? I ain't never did this. Let me go and do this one time, and then yeah, it might cost you. It might cost
I
you a little.
I think
It
it. I
might cost
think
you.
it's like a mixture of surroundings
Mm-hmm.
and putting your parenting on autopilot. You get what I'm saying by putting it on autopilot.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Like you really don't talk to your kids like you have a kid, you know you have a son, but you really not active talking to him like, listen, this street stuff ain't it. You just kind of hoping that he don't get involved or intertwined with some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying it's him. I'm just saying I've seen this from growing up, and when I look back at it, I be thinking, you know what? There are a lot of parents. They just pray that their kids didn't get into no situation like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because either both parents wasn't there, and it was a single parent, or parents was there, they were so busy that they didn't really have time to have those conversations, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
About, you know what I'm saying, how to navigate, don't be out here doing reckless stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom told me, if you get jammed up, you know what I'm saying, don't call me. You're gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not this ain't Brewster's place, you know what I'm saying? I'm not putting up the house for you. Then you skip you skip jail bail, I lose my house. It ain't going down like that, you know what I'm saying? So um I don't know, man. It's tough,
Yeah.
man.
As a kid that had plenty of relatives, you know what I'm saying, that's been incarcerated. Not saying that they came from the worst conditions. To me, their conditions were way worse than mine, but they uh, they didn't see it the same way. It's like, damn man, you in
No,
bad condition,
yeah. What
and
I'm saying is it's some kids in the suburbs, their parents are doing the same
yeah,
exact thing. That's what I'm saying. They not really raising their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to have kids, it's another thing to actually raise your kids, have those conversations. Like when you get off work, have those conversations, you know what I'm saying? And your kids, seeing how you moving, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Like if
that.
your son see you stealing cars and doing crazy stuff, what you expect, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes people don't realize, like, if my son see me doing that, well, how do I expect him to, what I'm saying, have the mindset at a young age, like 12 or 13, to overcome that, you know what I'm saying?
One of the biggest things that I know that I showed my son, like I go to work and do everything right,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
what I did show him, I still uh took him to the neighborhood and let him see, like, if this is what you want to be, this is what you gonna. If you if the decisions that you make, you're gonna end up right back over there. You're gonna be sitting right back over here.
Yeah,
Like, do you want
100%.
to be there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
not
we're gonna
saying,
talk about that in a few more slides
yeah,
from here, but yeah, I just made a video for I went to class. I tell kids like when you graduate high school, you're 18, you're on a clean slate. Everything that you
yeah,
didn't like or you feel like your parents didn't do, guess what? You get to prove yourself right and be a responsible adult. It's your turn
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And you gonna make your own path. And what the decisions you make from 18 to however age is gonna show whether you make some good decisions or bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a mixture of both, you know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm, mm.
But it's definitely gonna show 100%.
Man,
And
one
that's and
hundred
that's
percent.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the dad, right? If he
Mm-hmm.
could really go back and look at the decisions he made with his son from when he was born to now, could he have made some better decisions? Probably. I mean, anybody could say that. I mean, I'm pretty sure, but in retrospect, but
Ah, man,
um,
that boy,
cause
he told me that.
why is it there kids that don't do it that live in the hood though? You see
Mm.
what I'm saying? It be kids that live in the
Yeah.
city that don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's where when you give them too much too early, and you ain't break it down, they just see they
That's what
just
I'm
see the
saying. You let them on autopilot. They just out there. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I don't know about you, but I had a curfew. Some kids I grew up with, they didn't have a curfew. They could just go home whenever they want to. It didn't matter. But my
What you
mom said,
mean?
you better have
Hey,
your black butt. You better have your black butt in the house when before that street light come on. I know that.
I had a
and
curfew
we and we didn't
and
even know.
still
And we didn't
snuck
even
out.
know the time. We didn't even have a watch. You just had a feeling. All right, man. I'll
Yeah,
holler at y'all. I think the street light about to come on, man. You didn't even
I,
have a. You didn't even have a. You just look at the sky. And be like, wait a minute. I think the street light about to come on. Let me go and hop in the house, man.
yeah, I try to tell people, man, I was drill. It was drill sergeant cadet, and when I stayed with my mom, it was
Oh boy, I
drill.
see that. I see that picture of your mom. I'm like, I can see what he talking about
Yeah,
now. When I see that picture on Facebook of your
it
mom,
was
I'm
drill
like, oh
sergeant
yeah,
cadet,
oh
man.
yeah.
Yeah,
My
like
name is Major Williford Payne.
shit, man, we ain't playing. Like you had like a curfew. Like I snuck out, but man,
Yeah,
that curfew was real,
yeah.
boy.
But it saved you from a lot of stuff, though. That's the
Man,
thing, right?
no, granny ain't too saved from a lot of stuff, but uh, kids they gonna do whatever. It's just part of, especially young men and the young girls too. They gonna do everything that you tell them not to do.
I think it depends on how you raise them, how you talk, what you talk to them about, and the foundation that you raise them off of when they understand the foundation. Because I know some kids that had that spiritual foundation and they lived in the hood and they would not take part in it at all. But
Mm.
in order to do that though, they had to kind of be isolated because they understood the influence of being around other people. You know what I'm saying?
It once they
And
get
and the
hey.
stuff, the stuff, the stuff that they tell you in school, like don't profile and don't do this and do that. That's the kind of stuff that actually help you survive by profiling sometimes. And, having the pre-notion like, nah, I ain't fooling with two, man. I ain't fooling with that girl, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like I'm pretty sure you got to teach your son at some point the girls not to talk to, right? Does that make sense?
yeah, it
There
makes
are
perfect.
girls not to talk to. I know people don't talk about it out loud, but there are girls that you have to be aware of and stay away from if you want to have a chance at life. You know what I'm saying? They can make your life,
Yeah.
boy, the terror dome. You know what I'm saying? Boy. So, pick one. Think about this, Pio. Sabu, rest in peace to Sabu, and rest in peace to New Jack. Who you going with, Sabu or New Jack?
I don't know. I don't know neither one of them like that.
I thought you said rest in peace, Sabu. Nah, Sabu was cold. He was a wrestler for ECW. He
Yeah.
used to wear them Arabian pants, jump off the top rope, and like hit somebody on the table. Man, dude do some
Yeah.
wild stuff, man. He was cold, man.
Oh,
And
yeah.
New Jack, he was like the he was so crazy, man. You have to look dude up. New Jack dude was funny, but the thing about New Jack dude was for real crazy, bro. Like he had, you know how they scar their head up with the razor. He had
Yeah.
did that so many times. He had like permanent, scars on his
Mhm.
forehead. You know what I'm saying? He was like the black rebel of wrestling. They tried to, I think Vince wanted to bring him to WWE, but he was too raw, man. Like
Mhm.
him and his homeboy, they was too raw. They was like the public enemy of wrestling almost. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
I
saying?
was Sabu. I was thinking.
Sabu,
I,
Sabu was like the high risk, high reward kind of dude. He would jump off the top rope and do like a leg drop on you while you laying on the table and both of y'all pass out.
yeah.
He would do some wild stuff, man.
I was thinking. What's that? Old school wrestler name? Uh.
Taz? No?
Oh, I'm talking about it way like 80s.
Nah, this Sabu was like ECW. This one ECW used to come on like what channel was that? It wasn't even on regular TV, bro. You had to kind of know about it, but this one they had like barbed wire ropes and stuff like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for ropes.
I, was-
Man, you get slammed on fireworks and stuff.
I don't know what I said. I don't want to say the Great Fareed or something. I don't
And
want to
Mick
say no.
Foley, he used to wrestle with Mick Foley and stuff like that.
Mm,
Cactus Jack, he was Cactus Jack in ECW.
yeah.
Man,
I'm thinking about the different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I ain't too familiar with that game.
Oh boy, yeah, Sabu was cold. I'm gonna go New Jack though. New Jack was cold. It was a dude that had cut him. It was a dude that had cut him. That was in ECW, and he wasn't supposed to cut him, man. He got dude like on the
Uh,
top. No, did he cut him or set him on fire or something? He did. He
oh.
pushed dude off the top, man. We dude wasn't even ready, man. It was crazy. But one of his last matches though, he was wrestling with somebody, and dude was punching him for real. And he said they weren't supposed to, it's wrestling, they're not supposed to punch each other for real.
Yeah.
But I guess dude was trying to make a show. And he got New Jack got mad. And he pulled out an actual knife and was stabbing dude for real in the ring. It was like a low circuit match. It was like a match in a hotel room or something, but ballroom or something. It was crazy. But he was stabbing him, and he said that he had made a deal or something that said if he go on the road with him, he won't press charges or some kind of paperwork. If he signed this, it go on the road with him, he won't press charges. He said, "Man, I signed that paperwork to let me out of jail, man. I never seen dude again, man." But they had on video. They had on video
Oh
though. Dude was
man.
wrestling. Dude started punching him. Boom! You know how they get you in the turnbuckle?
Yeah.
Start punching him in the face. He said, "Man, what?"
Mm.
He said, "You think I'm playing with you?" He pulled out a knife out of his thing and jab, 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 jab.
Man.
You just see dude start saying, "Hey man, this dude stabbed me, man." Oh
Whoa,
man, New
whoa,
Jack. I had to
whoa.
show you a video of New Jack. Yeah, New Jack was crazy, man.
Hey, speaking of wrestling, man, shout out to my boy K Tuma, man.
Who?
Uh K Tuma. He from I wanna say he from the north though. Uh
He wrestled. He wrestled. That was up.
yeah, he a wrestler. He was in he been in Don Trip and Starlito them new video, Royal
Oh,
Rumble.
okay.
And and he was on the Rock show that came out
Oh,
on. Yeah.
that was up.
Shout out to K Tuma, man.
That's the K Tone,
Yeah.
man. That was up.
That's a big thing, man. That's a big
Oh
thing.
yeah. So talking to these youngins now, these young bulls, man, these Moabites, these young bulls out here, starting from a clean slate after graduation. A lot of y'all, this is the season of graduation for high school kids, some college,
Mm.
and that's what we finna talk to y'all about. Starting from a clean slate. We talked about this a little bit this early. It's like how choices can help you overcome your circumstances because a lot of times you don't have money because you don't come from a family of affluence and you don't have an inheritance like most of us didn't have coming from McClellan.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
my
Yeah.
opinion, for me going looking back, I think your choices are your best asset to help you overcome your circumstances. What do you think, bro? If you think look back, some of the choices that kids can make to help them overcome their circumstances.
Um, I mean, real deal.
Yeah, real deal.
Um, Realize that it's life after
Boy,
life after that.
yes.
That
Your
that
adult life,
yeah.
your adult life is longer than your teenage life. It's more years in your adult life than it is in your teenage life. What is like 12 to 18, 6 years in
Man,
your teenage life.
I-
Adult life is what years, 20 plus years at least.
what
You know what
what
I'm
I
saying?
like my biggest thing is like for those that grew up a little bit faster than others, realize it still boils down to is more life after your teenage years.
100%.
And even when you turn, yeah, even when you turn 18 or, you think you're grown, like you're not grown. Trust me, like them bills are going to still keep coming. You're going to just work just to pay bills.
Yeah, there's no class that's teaching you about responsibility, like paying bills as an adult, like how responsible you have to be. You know what I'm saying? The level of consistency that you gotta have. Um, like you think about like I was telling my wife, like the stuff that I know now. If let's say if you meet a kid, or even like with your son, right? With him
Mhm.
like cutting grass, right?
Yeah.
There's a class at Pulaski Tech in Saline County because I see it was across from my class when I was doing auto body, 2-cycle engine class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it sounds like a simple class. You would think that's a simple class, but something that simple can change the game for your life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like learning how to rebuild a lawnmower engine. People think, "Well, I want to learn how to do that." Guess what? You
Yeah.
talk about making cash. You can sell a lawnmower for $1,000, about as much as a car. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
If not more. Some lawnmowers. And some of these lawnmowers out here, they don't even know what's wrong with it. It may not be nothing wrong with it, but guess what?
Mhm.
You know how to work on the 2-cycle engine. You can go buy that lawnmower for $200 and sell it for $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
make you know what I'm saying, a $700-800 profit. You know what I'm saying?
like one of that's why I always try to tell people like even with us, we missed out on times that your cousins, your uncles that really did that 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 other side of working a 9 to 5 hustle type stuff. Cause
Yeah,
you're gonna need some tools to add to your bag. You know what I'm saying? You
one
just
hundred
can't work
percent.
forever. Like it's cool to work. It's cool to own a business, but some stuff you just want to do as a man or as a woman. When you get older, you be like, man, like I couldn't picture myself being with a woman. It doesn't know how to
Same here.
cook, doesn't know how to cook, clean, but rather pay somebody. I used to think like, dang, I'd rather pay somebody than try to fix it. Until I got put in that circumstance, like, you know what? Why would I pay somebody $200 when it's a $20 job?
Man, I couldn't even see myself just being settled down when I was 18, man. What? I mean, and that's what I'm trying to tell dude. It's actually better to start looking at that because when you have one woman, you can focus on other things. You know what I'm saying? You make that choice to have sex before you get married, your focus will change. I don't care what nobody say. People say, "No, man, that ain't true." They're telling you stories.
Yeah.
It's like giving a kid an Oreo cookie. You give a kid an Oreo cookie, you see their whole mind change. They say they be drinking milk. You give them an Oreo, they just taste the feeling. They mind go, huh?
Yeah.
What's this? Now they be thinking about Oreos all the time. You can just wave it in front. Hey,
Yeah.
let me get this. You know what I'm saying?
And
It ain't no different when you, even with women. You know what I'm saying? It's like opening up milk. Once you open up, what's this bottle of water, right? Once you open this bottle of water up, this seal, you
mhm.
can't reseal it back. It's open. You
Yeah.
can't reseal it back. It'll
Yeah,
mess your mind up.
but what people gotta understand also too, Mike, is like you can be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, maybe 21.
Yeah,
If like where you at in life during that time, like everybody's not on that. I know that.
right.
But the people that grew up on it, it was like, man, this is it. This is it. You can't be mad because they didn't want to experience that.
What
Some
I'm
people,
saying is, it's people that experienced it, but they complain about it because of the choices that they made. You got to live with it and navigate through that thing.
now,
And I'm just saying it because there's somebody out there that's probably hearing this. They can avoid. Like,
no,
if you don't want to go down that path, like, look at the people that went down that path. Like, sometimes you should ask people, like, how was it? And they say,
it was
man, you think
terrible.
you think it's cool? You
You
think it's
had
cool
fun.
raising the kid by yourself at 19, 20
Yeah.
years old? You think
But
that's cool? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
but
saying. You know what I'm saying? You know.
mm-mm. what I was talking
So
about, what I was talking about was it's more so for the men. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Than it is for the women.
it's both. It's accountability for both because a man cannot do. He will only do what a woman would allow him to do. True or
That's
false?
true.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's
But
50-50. It's both. It's both. Because there are
but
women out there that They
And I
are just as vicious as dudes are. It's crazy, but it's
and,
for real.
and I want you to understand also. That's I want you to understand it also. There are times that you go to meet a woman. That's what she was raised. She was raised to be a wife. Like it,
So here's the thing, right? I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is because this happens a
it's
lot.
not realistic to
You're
you.
raised,
It's
you're
not.
raised to be a wife. You're raised to be respectable. Why are you out here in the jungle? Out here, why are you out here being preyed of? That's what I'm saying.
And
When
what?
you being raised, when you understand what you want to be, now
I
you know
want you.
what you are. But why are you out here? Why are you out here with the lions and tigers? That's all I'm saying,
What
right?
pool? What pool are you? What pool are you really even thinking about? Like, is it a?
Listen to what I'm saying, Pill. I'm gonna put it to you another way. If you're raised to be a wife, if you're
Mhm,
raised to be
mhm,
respectable,
mhm.
why do you think meeting the dude at elevations is gonna be the answer to what you got going on?
So you gotta limit yourself where you go.
I'm saying the possibility when you good with numbers, right? Percentages. What's the
Yeah.
percentage of meeting somebody in that scenario?
You just
And
that's what I'm saying. You don't know.
no, I'm saying from looking at the data, things that
Yeah.
happened over the past, looking at time, it don't work. Most of the time, it don't work. It's only like a 2%
But
probably chance it work.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's
The
that's
data
like
don't lie. The results. We just talked
if
about
if
that. The results,
if
right?
the results don't lie, then sure. What's the difference between elevation and church?
You said what?
What's the
It's not.
difference?
It's not
It's no
about that. It's the
difference,
character.
bro.
It's the character of the person, right?
No, that's what I'm
It's the
right.
character.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the difference between me somebody at elevators and me somebody in church?
I think meeting somebody at church and they got the right character. I think the percentages are
They on
way higher
they on
that it'll be successful.
they
That
on
it
a they on a path, right? They on a path.
it's just it depends on the character. You gotta look at the character, discernment, right?
Hey, listen,
Discernment.
if you on it, I just came to I just came here to be with my friends and show them, hey man, I support you. Even though I don't want to be here.
Why are you
Even
there then?
though to support my friends. Because at the
But
end
just
of the day,
we just talked about every choice come with a cost, right?
yeah. But and that's what I'm
And
trying.
we just talked
It,
about 5 minutes ago. We got to
it
teach our
happens.
sons what girls to not talk to, just like you got to teach your girls what dudes not to talk to, right?
And listen, I'm telling you. Why you can teach
Like I
them?
say,
You can teach them everything you want to. They still gonna make their own. They still gonna make their own choice.
but if you give them the information, at least you get
They
some kids
still gonna
they
make
don't
their
have the
choice,
information.
bro.
But
I'm
what I'm
telling
saying,
you.
if you give them the information, they can make a choice based on what you taught them, right?
Man, they still gonna go their way.
And that's fine.
That,
But they
that,
can't say that they wasn't taught. They can't say
no,
that they wasn't taught.
hey, I agree. They can't say
You
they
know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
taught it, but that's
Yeah.
the power
But
of
I'm saying it's a
principle.
lot of I think from my opinion growing up and being in the game like that on that side of the game, it's a lot of people they was either they wasn't taught it or they were taught it and they ignored what they was taught. Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
And the ones who were taught it had a standard and they like they wasn't going. And I respected that. I
Hmm.
wouldn't go past that. They got a fence up. You're not getting past this fence unless you come with a commitment. I get it. I go to another place. You know what I'm saying? No problem. You know what I'm saying? Easy. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? No problem. But what I'm saying is is this accountability on both. It takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Nobody can blame the other person or the other person can blame the other person. It
Yeah.
takes two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Period.
I know you like to dance around it, but
That's around what?
it's like I say it, but it's because I know we still got to be respectful. But
Right.
it's like the old school when a vampire smells blood. You hunting, you feel it. You like, oh
Right.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
Jungle, right? When the
Yeah.
lion sees it, yeah. But you know who they hunt first? You know who they hunt first? I say this in church. You know who they hunt
Mm-mm.
first? They
Mm-mm.
hunt the buffalo that's away from the
No.
herd. You know the one to get away from
No.
the herd? They
Yeah,
never go
they
after the big
the
buffalo. They
ones
always go after the
yeah,
ones that get away
I
from the
don't
herd.
it's the easy praise, like no.
Right. You know why?
But
Because they get away from the herd. They get away from their
but
covering. Right?
mm-mm.
Yes.
No. I know
Okay.
it's probably worded different for your understanding to mine. It's worded different, but it's really like the same thing. Like for real. Like I don't want nothing that's easy, but it is easy.
Man, my stuff wasn't even easy. I had some hard, like, I know
Mm-mm.
you thinking I was just talking to 304s the whole time. I was not. I'm talking about
No, I
regular
didn't say
women.
that. No,
Now,
I
one time you did, you probably was on that
yeah,
crown when you said that. You was on that
no,
crown talking crazy.
I didn't
But
say
I'm
that.
saying, what I'm saying is all of them are
No,
not easy.
damn, what you saying?
What I'm saying is a lot of women, they talk their talk, but when they get by themselves and it's you and them one on one, that's when
Oh,
their true character come out. I'm not saying they right or wrong. I'm just telling you how it went, bro, from the data, from the results, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got a house? Oh, you got a car? Oh, we can hang out? Oh man, then they get in your car, y'all go hang out, they just kind of relax a little bit. You're like, oh, what I mean, if you don't got the discipline, and that's what I'm saying, a lot of dudes are not taught discipline because the
oh,
older men are still out there doing their thing. You
oh.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're not
and
taught it.
it's kind of crazy because I was taught a lot of that stuff too early, and then once I really realized it, like, dang. And it wasn't that much longer after. It was just like, dang,
But what I'm
okay,
saying is,
the
okay,
game.
imagine if you lived with your dad and he actually talked to you about these things. Do you think it would have been different?
What? Nah, if I live with my dad,
I'm
shit,
talking about if your dad was on the other side. Now he wouldn't. I'm
like,
not talking about that. I'm talking about if your dad was disciplined and I
mm-mm.
mean, think about our home. What the dude we went to school with? What's his name? Man, he was a solid dude. Man, never heard dudes out there like that. My boy Joyner, Josh Joyner,
Yeah.
solid dude, man. I can say dude name. He
No,
was a
no,
solid dude.
no. It's like that's what I'm saying. Like my dad was like he My dad was probably out there. Ain't no problem to it, but he was out.
I know. I understand it, and
But
it make it hard for him to tell you to be disciplined because it's like, man, how you
no,
gonna tell me to be
no, but he
disciplined?
can't. But my dad did tell me on the cool. Like
But I
it's
think it has
weird.
to be a
It's weird.
continual. It got to be a
Nah,
continual
it was
conversation.
no, it
It
was
was
weird how he did it, but it was like it can't be in 10 places at one time.
right,
Like it was. When a person got a bunch of kids
right,
and they not saying that they're gonna do everything financially. Like
right.
now you can do it financially.
If you
Back,
got the money, yeah,
yeah,
everybody ain't Cam
yeah,
Newton, bro. That
yeah.
ain't.
But
Uh,
but if you ask any other women, it was more time than it was money spent. My mama never asked for money. Never. She never asked for money for none of my brothers and sisters. It
right.
was time. It was always time. And even if when you're working those jobs, you don't have that time. So
Mm-mm.
of course, some things get neglected. But the little time that we did have compared to everybody else's, that was like, dang, daddy did this with you, man. That MF ain't did nothing, but he
Right.
paid,
Yeah.
but he paid, but he paid. So what it showed me was like, okay, you it's one of the things you're gonna have to deal with. You either gonna have to live with your choices and pay this way, or you pay
Mm-hmm.
that way.
Right.
I know you strong enough to like, okay, you are able to deal with this stuff. But
Now
yeah,
I'm saying, imagine if your dad like talked to you about those things, like, man. if I would have been disciplined. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, have those talks with your son straight up. A lot of times, a lot of dudes from my generation, I'm just saying from my family, what I saw, you lacked it to have those kind of talks. You know what I'm saying? As a man, like, dude, you
But
16 or
it was,
15, whatever, you can start having kids, dude. You got to think about what you're doing. Don't be out here playing
but
games.
it
You know what I'm
wasn't.
saying? But a lot of dudes don't have those talks. You know what I'm saying?
It
I mean, how many
wasn't.
dudes did you know that you grew up with probably even had the sex talk with their parents? You see what I'm saying?
Hey man, that's what I'm saying. Everybody, tribe that they was around was a little bit different.
But I'm looking
It,
when I look at the results, it still wasn't good because it was a high rate of teen pregnancies and stuff like that. The results don't lie. That's all I'm saying. It was pretty crazy. You know, we was at school, teen pregnancy was pretty crazy.
yeah, I
You know what
don't
I'm saying?
like. I didn't see that many.
I'm not going there, but I seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't around that crowd too. Like I didn't get uh formally introduced to everybody to like 11th grade, in 11th grade.
I'm talking about when we was in 12th grade. It was a
Yeah, that
lot.
was
It was out there. I mean, it wasn't just our school, it was all schools. I mean, it's just that time, it's just a weird time. But yeah, I mean, we dealing with that now. A lot of kids that we see growing up now, a lot of the girls that had kids when we
it's
was in high school, man.
normal. It's normal now.
Yeah,
Now
abnormal mean normal.
they
Yeah, it's
they
pretty
they
crazy.
shun they shun the ones that excuse me, the ones that was 16 and pregnant, and the ones that was 16 and pregnant back then, the kids are turning out. We turned out pretty decent. I think. Yeah, I was like, man, we turned out pretty decent. We have our
Yeah.
issues, but I think we turned out pretty great because, like with your mom, man, shout out to mom, man.
Oh yeah, my mom was the
Like,
judge, jury, and executioner, boy.
yeah, she
She ain't play
gave
no game.
you know what I'm saying.
Boy, coming in
You
like
the
the
oldest, right?
Terminator.
You the
Yeah, I'm the
oldest.
oldest. Yeah,
So
I'm the
she was
oldest.
like, man, she gave you that responsibility. Like others,
She
other
even
people.
tell me sometime though,
Yeah,
even though she did, but you still don't know how they gonna
yeah,
be once they go on their own. You
yeah.
still don't know. But I've always had that mindset, like I'm not gonna be dependent on anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm an independent. I used to tell her that. She's probably still like, "What is this dude talking about?" But
Mm-hmm.
I used to tell her, "I'm independent. I don't need you holding my hand. I'm a grown man out here,
Yeah.
man. You know what I'm saying?"
Hey,
Now, did I
big.
do some crazy stuff? You bet your butt I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I tell you that one reason why I tell kids that when people say don't judge me,
Mm-hmm.
nobody has to judge you. Your results say everything, right?
Yeah.
From when I graduated high school, probably to the girl I dated before my wife, that was a big span in years. I did not bring no woman over to my family's house for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I was talking to women though. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I knew it hit me like, wow, the results are there. Like they probably like, man, this dude out here crazy. He don't never bring no woman over because I don't. For me, I'm not dating. This ain't my girlfriend, man. I'm just, you know, what I'm saying, doing what I'm doing. Um, but I didn't believe in bringing different girls around my family like that. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think that's
For real.
disrespectful.
For
You
real.
know what I'm saying? But that was just our role. But that don't mean I wasn't out there though, you know what I'm
That-
saying? But I'm just trying to get people understand how when you do those things, you may thinking that because
Yeah. It
you
just.
going over your family house, but you're not bringing you 19, 20, 22. You ain't got no girl. Like, no, I ain't got no girl. I got a team, but I ain't got no girl though, you know what I'm saying? You used to tell my mom that I got a nice little roster, you know what I'm saying? I got a nice little starting five, you know.
Mm.
She'd be laughing, boy, you crazy, boy.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Nah.
saying?
Like I always kept everything. Um.
Yeah. Like a plate,
Private.
like that cafeteria plate. I kept everything separate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like everything was always just like I know we going off subject, but
No, you good.
um,
We finna get back on it here in a second.
yeah, like I grew up way too fast. Like I don't want to bring nobody around unless I know it because
Yeah,
I know how my family is and I know how I am. But
yeah.
yes, yeah,
All right. Let's talk about a bad choice for these kids out here.
Yeah.
TK, was it TK? I think that's his name. Received 80 years for 2 murders, cost him
Yeah.
the best
Done.
years of his life. This
Yeah,
dude, what, 19, 18,
yeah.
19?
Do the race. Do the
He
race.
said he not getting out to like 21, not 2000, but 2105 or something crazy. So that means the whole decade of the 2000s, man. He gonna be locked up, man. You know what I'm saying? Unless he get probation or some parole, but I don't know, man. Boy,
You
it's gonna be a
done.
long time before he get parole. He probably gotta do about 40 years before he get parole.
Done
You know what
for.
I'm saying? Bad
Like
choice.
you done for.
Said he
You
wanna
ain't.
rob the dude for his camera equipment. For camera equipment. Now, at the most, that dude probably had maybe at the most $5,000 worth of camera equipment. If that is the best years of your life worth $5,000, you got to ask yourself that.
Mm.
Is the best years of your life worth $5,000? Bad choice, man. You know what I'm saying? Bad choice. You can't even make sense out of that. You know what I'm saying? Make it sound good. You really can't. 80 years. This dude 5'7", probably a buck 80, if that, and fits to be in a penitentiary
Mm-hmm.
around some real tigers and bears and lions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude don't got a chance, man. He don't got a chance.
Yeah. That's big facts. That's big
They gonna
facts.
call him Take Cake because they gonna be taking this cake. They gonna be taking, man. Man, dude, they got a chance, man. Like he gonna have to really level up, man. Go to another level up here, man, to be in there, man. He got to go to a whole nother level, man, because it's the level. I can't even imagine the level of mind games dude play with you, man, every day. You just don't even know who you even talking to. One, this dude act like he your friend, but he trying to ease up on you, man. You know what I'm saying? Or they trying to
Man,
get you to say something to say, oh man, dude over there talking crazy about y'all, trying to get you jammed up. You know what I'm saying?
hey, that's
Man,
what
that's
they do.
crazy.
They're playing them penitentiary
Yeah,
games.
yeah, man.
Mm.
So since we talking about bad choices, pick one. Dead presidents or set it off.
Oh, I ain't gonna front. Dead president. Dead president.
Dead president.
All day.
Dead president was crazy. Set it off. I'm gonna set it off. Set it off was pretty
Yeah.
crazy too.
Yeah.
Queen Latifah, man. I mean, I know they say she's not on that side, but she sure played that part real good. Too
Yeah.
good almost, but
I think that's where
that
she
6'4". That 6'4" was clean though, man. That 6'4"
man.
was clean, man.
Yeah.
Uh, well, your dead president was cold though, man. I mean, man, when he came back home, man, was it Lolly?
Yeah. I think
Oh man. That
yeah,
happens a lot. That happened to a lot of dudes, man. You go off to the army or go to jail, this old
man,
dude, man, sugar daddy to you. I
that's
just seen that
that's
happen in
that's
real life.
that's what made it like it made me like think like because that's what I was raised around. The ones that came from the service, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
they're the ones that raised you like, damn. But you know, set it off was more so like what was currently going on.
boy, you ain't lying. Yeah, that's how it really was. I want to say they probably made people think about Robert Banks more when that movie came
Yeah,
out. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's a bad choice, robbing the bank,
That's
boy.
a
Fair
man
time. You
word
guaranteed 10
choice.
years fair time. At least 10 years fair time. And you do not get it ain't like the state. You do not get early release here from the feds, man.
Yeah, man.
Man, they is not playing around. I know a couple of homeboys that got caught up in that. And they always tell me, man, like, dude, man, it ain't nothing like doing 10 years fair time. It suck, man. You gotta do all of that time, man. At least.
Like when man, shout out to OG Turtle for changing his life, man. But
That was up.
like son was like the first one that was like, hey man, don't go down that path.
Boy.
Down that path, man. It's
Nah,
like
that 10 year fair time, boy. Whoo!
like I
At least that's the minimum you're gonna get is 10 years fair time. Robbing the bank. The least.
don't do
That's
that.
the least.
Don't do that shit and Like we learned that at an early age. Like it's just one of them. Growing up in the neighborhood, it's like shit. Man, don't do that shit. Man, go to school, get a job, do something else productive than go down
Yeah.
the wrong path. You
But
know.
yeah, guys, let us know who you picking. Dead Presidents to set it off. Yeah, both of the movies crazy, but yeah. Then that dude had that false leg was beating the brakes off dude
Yeah.
at the pool hall.
Early, early.
But it was crazy,
That was
man.
saying,
All right,
man. In
go
the
ahead.
pool hall. Man, come on, Jenna.
All right, y'all. We're finna talk about this corporate stuff now, man. We gotta talk about this a little more too. This one's called development opportunities. So I asked you, Pill, what does development look like for a person?
Uh,
When they take to develop yourself, what does that look like? Sometimes you like a definition in dictionary, but in life, like what does that look like visually, like for a person?
yeah. Me personally, I think like you always gonna older you get. I don't even want to say older you get, but
Uh, more
uh,
experience.
yeah, like cause you can get a lot of knowledge in a short span of time, and
100%. You got to be aware of what's going on. Yeah, that's true.
and like your development, it really all depends on, are you willing to accept. They were like, damn, it's probably time to change. It's probably time to, diversify your portfolio. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%. Yeah.
it's easy to remain stagnant when the money's flowing or when it ain't. You gotta you gotta keep you gotta keep going to this keep going on, man. Excuse me if I'm stumbling on words. It's tough,
Are you good?
but yeah, cause what what people don't understand is like you always you're always gonna be like, man, I'm making money, so I don't need to grow.
Mm-mm.
Not no.
And I'll say it like this, right? When you graduate high school, you're pretty much starting from zero, right? That's why we say pick a career field that you want to go into, because if you can pick a career field and stay in that field and develop in that field, your value will increase. But there are core development things that you need. The first thing is you got to learn how to be reliable. You gotta learn how to be on time, how to be reliable. Can they depend on you to do your job, whatever job you pick, you want to do? Whether it's working at McDonald's, working at Walmart, Amazon, working for the state, are you reliable to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning? You know what I'm saying? 9 o'clock, whatever the schedule is. Even if something happened in life, are you still going to be reliable? Even if you don't feel like it all the time, are you still going to be reliable? Development. Being consistent. Once you be reliable, you add that to your game. Being consistent while you're at work, they know you're gonna do your job. They don't have to come watch over you. The manager don't. Even if you're consistent, most micromanagers don't really fool with you because they know you're doing what you need to be doing. Most of the time. Now there are some crazy little micromanagers. They just gonna
Uh,
do whatever. But once you up your value, though, man, you don't really deal with the. In my opinion, you don't really get too many of those once you kind of move up in the game, you know what I'm saying? But being
uh,
consistent, you know what I'm saying? And another thing working at a job is understanding the different skills that you need to have depending on where you work in. Like me working in IT.
mm-hmm.
Every job that I have worked at in IT, I have learned something and took that with me that I learned at that job. And sometimes it might not be the actual job. It may be some kind of system that they use or some kind of program or something that, you can download on your own computer or something like that. Or learning how to use certain things that you probably wouldn't have learned at another job and make your job easier at the next job.
Hey,
You have to think about those things, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
That's one of the biggest things I always stress. Like even like when I'm one of those people that always get stuck with the older people. If that
Right.
makes sense. Like
For
I'm
sure.
one of those ones. Like I'm talking about like real old people, like
Yeah.
60, 70 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I always push them to update their software. If
Oh,
that makes sense.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Because
Like
time's gonna change. You get left behind
uh,
just like that.
you're gonna
You know what I'm saying? Easy.
you're gonna get stuck in 1970 or
You have to
1980 or
adapt.
19. You got
You have
to,
to adapt.
and it makes it you make yourself even more valuable. Not saying that you have to, but it
No,
just
you don't have to do anything. That's what I
like
understand in life. You don't have to do anything, but there's a cost to that, though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's just I don't know. Every job I had, I always be with the older people. I don't
It's
know if
just
they
like
thought
me.
I was
Like
living.
I told my wife when I was younger, I didn't have a suit until I was in my 20s. I was married to her. I was trying to be a firefighter, but I had to get a suit to do the interview. That was the first time I bought a suit. I think I was like 25 or something, 26,
Yeah,
somewhere in there. I don't think I wore jeans and t-shirt. I saw that, and like wearing a button down, like that's something I had to adapt. If I want to do better, if I wanted to move up in the game, I had to adapt it to my style. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It don't make me weak. It don't make me anything. It's like if I want to move up in the game, I saw it with my own two eyes. Most people that's making the money at these jobs,
yeah.
there's a certain uniform, just like in the NFL, there's a
Yeah.
uniform. NBA, there's
Look,
a
man,
uniform.
I look the
But for some
part,
reason,
man.
I was thinking, why do I not want to wear that? It's just pretty crazy. So, but
Yeah, you
you
can look
know,
the part. Like it's always. I always look at it like this. Like it's always room for me to advance in life.
oh for sure.
Like if I always I always said it, like if I cut my hair, I know I can go places. But I know what that brings out in me. I hate it, but I also love it because I have a choice.
Hmm. Sure,
Everybody
I
ain't got
get
the
it.
choice. Like everybody ain't got the choice. Like man, can you grow your hair out? But it's always a choice, and I hated like people would even try to uh, come at me like that because you're trying
Yeah,
to downplay my intelligence. Like, don't get it confused. I hate hearing myself talk. Like,
yeah,
even when you do the clips and stuff, I hate hearing
yeah,
myself talk. But in all actuality, like, it's gonna be more on the ground level. Like,
yeah.
but this is it's one of the things like trying to get people to do right and see it how we see it. Everybody ain't gonna do it.
Oh,
But
I
those
get
the
it. I
those
100% get it. Cause I used to be
those
one of
the
them people.
yeah,
I used to be
those the
one of them
ones that
people.
we could touch. And
Still, man, it was a time, man. I used to have like two braids, man. You probably wouldn't even believe it. I had like two braids, like 8 braids. Go with my cousin. Yeah,
yeah,
give me 8 braids. Look like a straight,
yeah.
looking like a straight Moabite. Looking like a straight Moabite, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's when I was young, working there. Like, I think I was working at Crane then, man. I was like, man. But yeah, and
And
I
the straight
understood that I was holding myself back on a lot of things. And once I finally started coming here, I started seeing it. I was like, man, if
man.
I want to play this game, man, I got to play the
Mm.
game if I want to win. But
Yeah, I'm
when you start seeing the money, when you start seeing people making money, you're like, wait a minute. If I made that kind of money, not only can I own my own business and I can take care of the house at the same exact time. That's what resources get you. It go from money to resources. You see what I'm saying?
but the,
It go from money to
the,
resources. You know
the
what I'm saying?
like
It's crazy.
it the money's cool. Been there, seen it. Um, the resources was always the end all be all for me because you can do it. Somebody else can do it a little bit better, way better than I can.
For sure.
They can always do it way better than I can. Like once a person put you in position, not put you in position, but give you that umbrella. Once that umbrella is standing,
A lot of people though, Pill, to be honest, a lot of people are put in position because they know the right people, bro. A lot of stuff ain't as random as we think it is, right?
oh yeah,
They know the right
exactly.
person. They went to school, they went to college with this person, or they know this person somewhere. They connected, they met each other at an event or something. It happens, bro. I mean, it's not as random as you think it is.
Yeah. Oh,
And it
trust me,
was
I
something I
know.
was going to tell you. Um, what I
Mm-hmm.
was saying was like even what I seen that it's people in Little Rock making six figures working these jobs, like working at the state or something, working at DHS, and they pay the same price that we paying benefits. It's nothing to them. You know what I'm saying? It's people that make six figures after 6 months, they don't pay taxes no more. They maxed out on paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but it can you can do it if you make the right choices when you young out of high school. You can get there in a more efficient rate.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling kids like, man, think about the principal. The
Uh,
principal of your school is making probably six figures or more. They're the principal.
but
But when
but
you a
Mike,
kid, you don't even it
uh,
don't even cross your mind.
but Mike, they'll get it. But this what we have to. You can't let them skip. You can't let them skip the process. You know what
No,
I'm
that's what I just said. That's what I just said. When you make the right choice after high school, you
saying?
go down that path. It's a path that you can take. A lot of times we be zigzagging, but instead of staying on one path.
Mm-mm.
But if you go to
No,
school for 4 years, go ahead. What about I say?
no, it's just not that. It's just not that simple.
Sometimes you be surprised it is that simple. You just got to
No,
stick to the path. I'm telling you,
no,
man.
hey,
Yes, it is. I'm telling you.
okay. If that's what you're saying, and they gonna skip the whole process of what it means. You know what I'm saying? Look, you gonna get the information. It's the in between. I always stress about the
But
in
some of the in
between.
between, though, if you make good choices in the in between, you good. But if you get out there and get to playing around, that's what's gonna
No,
set you back. Man, people, we know people that went to school after high school. They did their 4 years, and they was done by the time they in their 20s, like early 20s,
and they
and
miss
maybe
out
went
on
to law
that.
school and did some other stuff,
They miss
and they
out on
straight.
that. No,
What they
they're
miss
not
out
straight.
on? What did you
They're
miss
not.
out on?
They're not straight. Because when real life start happening to them, they don't. You wouldn't even know how to process it. When real life start happening, those are the ones that sit in their room and if everything is stock market and all this stuff crash, they don't know what to do with it.
I know some people that's like that. They don't care nothing about the stock market. They just
No,
work. They making them money.
don't
I'm
look
talking
at
about. I
what
know
I
some people
said
that's
was the
like us.
stock
I
market.
know.
Don't
I know.
think
I know what
it's
you're
your
saying. I know
business.
what you're saying. I've seen people. I'm saying, but I'm saying it's people from. They went to McClellan. Older people like that was like us. They went to school. Like I mean, they grew up where we grew up at and got to that point,
Mhm.
and they are straight. They don't. They just don't care about being in the spotlight or being out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
And I get
But
it.
there's are those people that's been sheltered, you know what I'm
Man,
saying, that's kind of been covered. And when life hit them, they don't know how to, react. But I'm
yeah.
saying for the person like us that grew up in the inner city, there is a path that you could take.
So
You know what I'm saying?
it's people like us that went to McClellan,
Yes.
uh, made it. Don't want to be in the spotlight, and they didn't help somebody.
You said they have helped somebody?
I'm asking that they didn't help somebody. I'm talking about
They
really
could
help.
have.
I'm talking about really help
What do
somebody.
you mean by help somebody? That's another
I'm
thing too.
like, like, like,
That
bro,
word help is a tricky word. That word help is a tricky word, man.
now, it's not tricky to nobody else except the ones that try to make it tricky. No,
So what does help mean to you? Like what does that look like? Like visualize that. Like what does help mean?
help means like, bro. Hey man, I need to do a LLC, but I really don't know how to do this stuff. I'm gonna pay you, but I really don't know it. And they be like, hey man, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you.
Well, they say what time?
No, no, listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you.
I'm talking about the ones that hey, hey, everybody making 200,000 $200,000 a year, and then for a person to make $50,000 a year, that means they didn't came up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's why I was like that's all I'm trying to say is like everybody gonna make their own choice. They gonna do everything.
And I think when I realized that what you're saying, I know what you're saying because I know people that like that. I know it was a couple dudes that did me like that. They'll be
Mm,
like, "Hey man, how you do the land auction stuff? Oh man, you got to figure it out like I did. No problem,
yeah.
because I'm a go getter. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know that it exists, I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my personality. What I'm saying about help is what I'm trying to say is there are some people I've seen is Eric Thomas was talking about this. He was saying that some people are not ready to be helped because they sabotage everything. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to maintain. Like he said he was at Waffle House and this woman was with kids. She was really struggling to pay for a waffle. He walked in, seen that. He said, "Whatever they're eating, I'll pay for it. Just let them get what they want." Well, the waiter said, "Hey, that's Eric Thomas. He paid for your food." She said, "Hey, you paid for my food. Can you help me? I don't have nowhere to stay. We just got kicked out of the house, or something like that." "No problem. I'll help you." He said that his wife does the rent house thing, right? Put the
Mm-hmm.
woman in the rent house, help the woman set her kids up in like a really nice school that was in the area they was renting the house from. He said he came back from off the road. They said 6 months. They said she was gone. Like, what happened? They said she just didn't pay the rent. She kind of just sabotaged the situation. What I'm saying is, some people version of help thinking you're supposed to
Yeah.
supplement their lifestyle. You're supposed to supplement their lifestyle, right?
Man,
And
that's
some people that you can show them something and they can run with it. And then there's people that if you help them, this could be a 5 year help. You see what I'm saying?
that's I know exactly what you're getting at.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm saying.
that's you gotta realize that like some people really have that
Right.
spirit of getting over, or you got to use
I
the
get that too.
spirit of discernment. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
You
100%.
know what I'm saying? It's like it. I promise you, like it's a catch 22 to it all.
Mm-hmm.
What I always learned, same thing I tell my wife. I'm just waiting on everybody else to catch up. I promise you, I am. Like I really am waiting on everybody else to catch up, and then once I see like, hey man, listen, it goes back to the old Pimp C, monologue. If I'm calling, like damn it, I might need some help. But if I'm calling just to talk to you, let me see what you're talking about. That's I'm separating church and state. It's crazy, but yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
a
sep-
different dude. I don't need neither. I go to church to learn about the spiritual stuff, but I help myself. If I need help, I just help myself. I figure it out. I'm just a figure it out kind of person. I think that's what life turned me to, a figure it out kind of person. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And
don't get
that's why I
confused.
always tell people sometimes you may not know, but you can figure it out if you want to. You can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? It's just up to you if you want to figure it out. But
Don't get confused. That's what I'm saying. Don't get confused. Like everybody,
yeah,
I'm just waiting on everybody else to catch up.
yeah,
But when the time comes, you're like damn, hey, you might know a little bit more than I do. You might know a little bit more than I do, even more. Like,
Because I learned it's really not about what you know; it's about how good you can execute what you know. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause there's a lot of people that know a lot of stuff, man, but a lot of people don't execute on what they know. Sometimes they just don't want to do it, or they just you know what I'm saying. And I've seen that over time. Like even like with older people, I know some older people, man. They knew a lot of stuff. It's like, why did you never do it though?
yeah,
Ah, man, I just didn't
because
want to
it's a
do it,
bad,
man.
it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Cause
I'm talking about the good stuff. Is the good stuff is a bad thing?
yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I want you to get a full understanding. Like, do you want the Old Testament or New Testament, or how you handle things? It's like when people do
Yeah.
good,
You can
when
combine the both. That's why you got both of
that's
them. You
what
got Old Testament and New
that's
Testament.
what I've been trying to tell people the whole time. I'm talking about like this from like 99
The whole
2000.
Bible. The whole Bible is the word of
Yeah.
God. It's the whole Bible is the word of
Yes,
God.
hey, that's why I've been trying to tell people the whole time. Like, I don't have to go out there and experience this shit to know it. I know what's right and what's wrong. I know it. I didn't have to go put my feet in muddy water to know that water's muddy. And that's what it goes back to the same thing. Like when these young boys out here, they out here doing these crimes. I said, boy, Sarah Huckabee finna railroad your ass. Excuse my language, but she
Yeah, she
finna
is.
railroad you.
Boy. So, how has development changed in the corporate world over time? What you think? How you think it has changed?
Uh,
Because I don't know. It seems like companies don't really develop like they used to develop their workers. It's almost like you got to do it on your own, man. It's like you on your own. Like
man,
I can't even tell you the last time I seen a job have an orientation. When I was younger, when I first started working job, when I worked at the hospital, they had like a orientation for like almost a week before you even went to your job. HR. Now you go straight to your job, your desk. You just figure,
man.
well, here go your
Yeah.
computer, here go your workstation. Here you go. You know, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Only thing I'm saying is, only thing I'm saying now is, it's kind of like how it was in, probably like 97, 98. Like how things are.
mm-hmm.
Like they're not asking for all the credentials. They're
Mm-mm.
not asking for it. It's
Hey,
good
do you
to
got a
have it.
heartbeat? Do you got a heartbeat? Do you got five? You
Mhm.
got 10 fingers and 10 toes? You're high.
And it's they're not asking for it, but eventually, they're gonna start
Some
asking
jobs they
for it.
do though. Some jobs you got to have it before you can fill up for it. I've seen that though. That's why I'm trying to get this master's degree to MBA. Because some of the jobs we looking for, they're like, man, we really like you, man. You got the experience, but you just
Mhm.
don't have the education. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
listen, man, listen,
I've had that happen a couple times.
man. Come on now. I can't say it right now, but
What's that?
bruh, I can't say everything I want to say right now. But I'm telling you, like a lot of these jobs, eventually, um, that's all it's gonna be. It's just a job.
100%.
Like it ain't
It's,
gonna.
it's to me, it's no different than playing in the NBA, right? Before you retire, you want to get as much money off the table before you step away from the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's what it's all about. You want to increase your value so you can re up and you can get as much money as you can before you get out the game, before you retire, man. Period. And if you take care of your body, I've
Yes,
seen
sir.
this happen. You take care of your body, you can keep milking the game straight. Because when you get old, that's when you get paid more. They pay you for your knowledge. They don't pay you for your hand. They pay you for your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
like I know dudes 70 man, 70 years old man making 200 grand a year, man. Black
And
making
that's
200
why,
a year. You know what
and
I'm saying?
that's why we gotta really um start pushing entrepreneurship, and a lot of Everybody
And see,
can't
my
do it.
thing is, I will push education first before you go into entrepreneurship, so you can know what you're getting into. Because a lot of these kids, in my opinion, they getting into this entrepreneurship and they don't understand some of the inner workings of it, and they get kind of crossed up or they get scammed real fast. They don't
Yeah,
understand how business work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and that's
That's what
why.
I think they should do. If you want to be entrepreneurship, I think you should go to school
But
to learn about business.
you gotta be a dog in this shit. You gotta be a
But that's what
dog.
I'm saying. But the more you learn, the more the smarter the dog you'll be, though. Right?
Yeah. But if you already understand a dog, the dog is gonna be a dog.
Not
You
all
can't.
dogs, though. Not all dogs are created equal.
No, they're not. But but you will know a pit bull when you see one.
I'm a Doberman Pinscher, man.
Yeah.
That Doberman
It's
Pinscher will
smart.
sit there and stare at you. It'll sit there and stare at you until you walk into the range. Then you walk into the range, and then it come at you.
but
Then you walk back out the range, it'll sit right there and just stare at you. A pit bull, though, yeah. Pit bull
but
just
the
made the lock, man. That's
but
all they want to do is just lock, bite and lock.
but but guess what? At the end of the day, what a dog is a dog. You know what I'm saying? you
But
can't
what I'm saying
it's
is
kind
a
of like
lot of
it's kind of like how sports is. It's kind of like how sports is. Hey,
it is exactly how
uh,
sports
that,
is. What I'm
uh,
saying is there are a lot of dogs out here, but there are sole proprietorships. They don't understand the part of business about working with other people, having a team, right?
big facts.
Because if you don't have a team, you only can make so
But
much money as a sole
but do
proprietorship before your body give out. You see what I'm saying?
do you stop talking to a dog just because they you if you a pit bull, do you stop talking to a dog because he's a Doberman?
No, what I'm saying is if you educate yourself so you won't get
No,
taken advantage of, you can
if you
understand when you walk in the bank and you start talking these crazy numbers to you and the interest rate and
if it,
APYs and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
but
A lot of these
do you stop a dog from being a dog when
no,
he
I'm just
when
saying you could be a smarter dog starting out instead of
no.
having to go through your unnecessary bumps in the road. That's all I'm saying.
But also, hey, sometimes you need to be like, hey man, what's this? That's
Because
what.
what I'm saying is, just say you want to be an entrepreneur, be a plumber. Just do
Mhm.
an apprenticeship when you're 18. Just go do an apprenticeship and become a
Mhm.
plumber. And then start your own business. Now you got the skill to start your own business. A lot of people starting businesses, but they don't have the skill though. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have the skill too.
Yeah, but
You gotta you still gotta know how to talk to people, customer service skills.
man, and that's the only thing I'm saying, man, bro.
Huh?
You can't stop a dog from being a dog.
That's fine. But I'm saying it's a lot of dogs out here though. They not thriving in the business. It's because they're closing down. It's a lot of small businesses closing down, whether you want to believe it or not.
Yeah,
And they struggle because they can't get the
right.
financing, man. Because they don't know
Yeah.
how to scale up. They don't understand what the scale up is.
What is it? Like, what is it? Like, oh, I shouldn't be able to talk to nobody like how I talk to
No,
them, right?
no.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you want to make money, you have to have good customer service, right? Or wrong?
Is this about the money or is this?
That's what business is about. It's about making profit. If you're running a business, it's about making a profit,
It
or you're
is.
not going to be open to cover operating costs, right?
To who?
The business. That's what the business is about.
No, the business. You stand on. Listen, You practice good business, and the
What is a
product.
business though? It's an
The
entity
business
that
can.
makes more money than it pays out in operating fees and makes a profit. That's the really the objective of a business.
Okay.
To make more money,
To
to
make
make a
more
profit.
money,
Yeah.
but sometimes you have to take a loss to make more money.
But how long do you need to take a loss for? They said you need to the most time you take a loss in the first 7 years, and after that you should start seeing a profit. But there are a lot of businesses they're not seeing a profit after 7 years, and they
Because
end up closing.
the product was never good to begin with.
And that's what I'm saying. If you don't learn
The
about
product,
business, you will think that what you're doing
the
is good
product, not the
instead of finding.
business. The product was. Listen.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. When you educate yourself, you can know what products work and what don't.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, you go into it being naive and just saying, I'm just gonna do it, I'm gonna just make it work, and it's not good product like you're saying, you just doomed from the start.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
but most like not saying most, but the ones that really understand, like, man, I know what works for me. I know
Okay.
what.
Okay. I'm just saying, I see
Man,
a lot of small businesses, man. They're closing down, bro. They start out with the best intentions. I'm not knocking them, I'm saying, but they don't understand that it's more than just starting out with the best intentions. There's a strategy. A lot of
no,
kids don't even know what strategy is. They don't even know what a strategy is, man. You
the
know what I'm saying?
best.
They don't.
No, the best intentions is always when you starting out. But
But what
in
about when you down the line 2 years in, though?
two
You
years
past the
in,
starting point now. You
but
past the starting point now.
everything's gonna work how it should. Like
But you
you
just
have
said if you don't have a bad product, it's not gonna work. You just said that,
if
right?
no if yeah if you have a bad product,
But
it's the
there are
same.
people that got bad products and they think it's good though, and you can't tell them no different. You can say, "Dog, I don't think that's a good idea. That probably ain't a good idea." Nah, I'm gonna make it work, and
That's
then you wasted,
like
you sunk about 10 grand, 15 grand into something in a bad product that it don't work. You see
and,
what I'm saying? That's what I'm
and
saying.
those are the ones that you missed the whole point of.
But it's more of those than one that's successful. Do you know like 70% of businesses end up closing in the first 5 years?
Why? Because they
That's a
never
real
listen.
stat.
Because
That's
they
a real
never.
stat.
Because if that's the real stat. Because if you're gonna do it, you basing it off of location, the
This is a
hours.
nationwide stat. This is a nationwide stat.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about nationwide. I'm talking about here.
Definitely, it's tougher here because it's a smaller population of people. It's not like Dallas where you got millions of people. You only got how many
Yeah,
people in
but
Little Rock? 300,000. How many? Let me look at the population before I get that wrong. Let me look at
six,
the population real quick.
at least six.
Six
At
hundred
least
thousand.
six.
Man, you crazy.
Well, if it ain't six, it is what it is.
203,000. 203. 842,000. That was the last census that was taken.
Mm-hmm. So what they tell you?
That tells me that the competition, if you go into a market that's saturated, your product better be insane, or it's just depending on where you at.
Do
Because when you
you?
notice, there are not a lot of new businesses opening up in Southwest, and I live out here, so I know exactly what I'm saying, what I'm seeing when
And
I'm
you
riding
know
around. It's
why?
not a lot of new
Because
businesses. Why?
nobody's coming out there. But
Even even the people that's living out here, the
hey,
people's income base, they
man,
it's just so
that
they can
was
only
that.
support so much.
Listen, bro, the census was took. What it? They took the Census Bureau when last year. Boy, that what was really out there. They ain't took no Census Bureau on that shit. So can't nobody tell me like when it comes to stuff like that. No, you can't tell me. No, boy, that money flowing through there.
Okay.
Been flowing through there.
The only thing the money's flowing to is what people need, the necessity.
Mm-mm.
That's what I see.
No, they
Gas,
what you
the
see.
gas. Even in the
That's
grocery
what you
store, it ain't as
see,
crowded. It
bro.
ain't even as crowded as it used to be, bro.
Mm.
We talked about that too,
That's
right?
what you
Priorities, right?
see.
Then we
It,
talk about that
it what
priorities,
you
right?
see, bro. It's what you
Okay,
see. It what
okay,
the
all
only
right,
thing matters is what you don't see.
okay,
Cause it's man, money flowing through that job.
okay,
It's been flowing through there.
okay. Like I say, Geno's closed at 9. I think McDonald's even closed
Yeah,
at 9 or 10 now on
yeah.
God Springs.
Why? Because you have to adapt.
People ain't spending money
But
like that. They slowed
no,
down.
they
People ain't
been
spending money
spending
like
money,
that.
bro. They stopped spending money when Trump got in office. Ain't nobody tell me different.
Even before that, they stopped spending.
No, they
People ain't making
was.
money.
No, they
Cost of
was,
living, cost of
bro.
living is going up, but
Mm,
nobody's pay is going up. That's keeping up with cost of
bro,
living.
I'm trying to tell you. Once Trump got in office, money slowed up in the swats. Money
Money
slowed up in
slowed
the
up
swats.
everywhere. Money
No,
slowed up everywhere, bro.
no, they spend money. It's just not where you think it is going. I'm tell you one place that ain't losing no business for real. I know two or three places they ain't losing no business. But I'm trying to tell you, man, it's what it ain't nothing but real estate market out there. That's what. Hey, man, take out this. We're gonna build this up, bro. I was out there cutting yard. I seen a
Man,
Tesla.
it
I
says the
seen two
average,
Teslas, a truck, a Tesla truck, pass by the same street, a Mercedes and a
and then
BMW.
and then and they'll be the same person that probably go home and they probably got weenies and bologna in the refrigerator
No, 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 no.
because they
These,
spending more of their money on the
these,
cars than they are
man,
on their actual living.
these were these were Asians and Koreans.
What's the difference? They do the same
No,
thing. You think they don't
no,
spend overspend?
what?
Do
Listen,
you not see? Do you not see the
what?
hair store for the clothes? The hair store's for the clothes. You know she closing, right? Over there by Walgreens. You know she closing, right?
To be aware,
The hair store, Kim's or whatever it was. She closing. You know where
they
she?
already did that. They already did that. Why? Because they just buy some more shit.
Nah, ain't nobody spending
They
money over
moving
there.
to Ben and Brian. I'm trying to tell you. But don't nobody want to listen to me. All right.
That's
Now watch
fine.
Ben. Now watch Ben and Brian
And it's a
live.
lot of people. It's a lot of people moving out to Bend and Bryant. They
And
living
then high
check to check,
school.
just like people living in Southwest. They doing the same. They just moved to a different place. Still living check to check.
Bro. Hey,
They still living check to check.
they listen, they buy and they gonna sell it to this they gonna sell it to this family.
But what I'm saying, like family to family, like
All right.
from a
What
percentage standpoint, a lot of families are not making crazy money like that. They
they
really just like doing stuff on the string, man. If you
wait
understand the budget, they're spending more money on house and cars than they are
wait
actually like living with their food and stuff like that.
wait
Priorities,
till
right?
wait till that Bucky's open up and you gonna see what I'm talking about. Wait till that Bucky's open up and y'all gonna travel over there too.
Who?
Trust me. You're gonna be over.
Right, but we living below our means though. We living
And
below our means, bro.
then you're gonna be like,
Strategy.
let's go and drive because you ain't gotta go too far. Cause at first they was you had to go to
This is
Dallas.
what I'm
Man,
saying.
trust
What I'm
me.
saying. Well, what I'm saying. It's a lot of people out here. They are prioritizing things over other things, right? We talk
Bro.
about that too. They spend money here instead of putting it here. They spending money here, right? Some people would rather have a nice car. They rather have a nice car than actually have food in refrigerator. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
There's people out there like that.
what I'm what I'm what I'm trying to get people to understand. Once the market go down in Southwest, that's when you buy up everything.
100%. But people in Southwest don't got the money to buy. That's what I'm trying to tell
Yeah.
you. You don't have the money to buy
You,
up everything. That's what I'm trying to
you,
tell you. When the
and
per
I'm,
capita income, when the per capita
man,
income in Pulaski County is $39,000. That's the per capita income in
people
Pulaski County,
people spend
Arkansas.
people spend money on it's money to be spent. They just don't want to
Right.
spend
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
it. What I'm showing you is what's gonna happen. Trust me, when by 7 8 years down the road, you're gonna be like, when your kids get older, you're gonna be like, dang, oh, this what Pill was talking about,
Why you think I'm
bro.
going to school, bro? Capitalizing on this thing. Why? So when they come, you be seeing me capitalizing like, oh
They
man,
al-
wow, this what's up.
they
Dang, man, yeah,
already got it. Like there was
that's fine,
already
but it'll be something
it
else.
was
There's gonna
it
be some
was
things for me to get.
already in like this stuff is already in play.
Okay. But
When
I'm
the
gonna get my piece too. I don't
when
worry
the
about what
air,
somebody else got in play. I just worry about when I do what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I just don't worry about
I
what they
have to
got in
worry.
play.
I have to
Why?
worry about what everybody else got in play. Why?
Why?
Because I mean,
Why?
I need to see it too. Because I really do need to see it. Like I'm trying to tell people, look, look, uh, them shootings that happened over there. I said, man, that ain't number land. Bro, it ain't nothing but land from uh what's that John from Walmart on clean? Man, ain't nothing but land trees, man. Come on now.
Yeah, but if you never get to the bag, you won't be able to buy the land. That's what I'm trying to get to the bag. That's why
Man,
we were just talking about money. When people saying it ain't all about the money, I was like, what? I don't know what it's about because if you don't have the money, you can't buy the land, right?
yeah, but they ain't buying nothing but on credit.
You said what?
That's all they buying. This stuff is on credit to it's on
But
credit.
what they have, we don't have the same thing that they have. That's what I'm trying to
Mhm.
tell you. You can't worry about what they don't have. You got to
Yes,
worry
we
about what you
do.
can get your hands
Yes, we
on.
do. Yes, we do.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes, we do.
All right, guys, it's
Yes,
gonna be a
we
never
do.
ending. We're gonna be infinity
Yeah,
arguing. We'll be arguing in
yeah.
loops all day, man.
Yeah.
We finna sign out this thing, man, because we getting older, man. We ready to go to bed. We hope y'all young kids,
Yeah.
man, listen to us, man. Hope y'all take heed to it, man. And we finna sign out.
Yep.